Good morning, everyone. This is Alan with PT on Ice Daily Show, talking about organizational and personal development here on Thursday. Sorry to catch you guys a little bit early, but I'm taking my first patient at 7 today, so I got to get rolling. So today I want to talk about customer service and how some of us recognize that as physical therapists, as people that own and operate businesses, we are in customer service. And some of us believe that we're not in customer service at all. We're in patient care, and business is kind of this icky thing that we don't talk about. I'll tell the origin of the idea for this episode, and then we'll dig a little bit into the nitty gritty. So this weekend I was out in Maryland. Shout out to everyone who was in Maryland for the cervical course this weekend. And on my way back home from Maryland, for those who don't know, Atlanta Airport didn't have power for about 8 hours on Sunday, and it messed up flights across the country. So even though I wasn't flying through Atlanta, my flight got delayed and eventually canceled. So I was in line at the ticket desk at Delta, and just watching human chaos in action, just complete breakdown in order, people just walking right up to the counter and starting to yell at the customer service, the ticket agents, and I was in a line where that wasn't happening. So I'm sitting there, and it's moving slow, but it's moving, and I'm getting closer and closer to the ticket agent, and I'm realizing no one is yelling at this lady. I'm wondering what she's doing, what sort of trick she has up her sleeve or in her bag, and so as I get closer, I can start to hear the conversation, and as people are coming up to her computer, she's asking them where they need to go and if they have to be there by tomorrow. And some people say, no, I don't have to be there by tomorrow. I'm on vacation. And so that's an instance where she was offering them, the typical kind of hotel voucher and meal voucher, and moving those people out and having them come back to the airport the next day to get rescheduled. And then for those who, I realize this is where the majority of time is being spent, for those who had to be somewhere tomorrow, myself included, she was looking at a whole bunch of different flights and seeing how she could get somebody to where they needed to go by a certain time if possible. And so she was taking the extra time to solve the original problem. And she was getting these people where they needed to go, the original problem being, I have to be somewhere by X time tomorrow or tonight, preferably, as I originally intended. And for those who that wasn't the original problem was just their flight was canceled. They didn't know what to do. They got the hotel voucher and the meal voucher, and they moved out. So looking into that, I realized she was being successful because she's following some extreme ownership principles. She's accepting the blame for the failure of the company, even though it's not directly her fault. And she's not making excuses, and she's not escalating the situation with those customers who are a little bit more emotional. She's de-escalating the situation. She's taking action that she can take right now to accomplish the mission. So I believe that's part of the reason why she was successful. The other part being she was solving the original problem. So I dug a little bit deeper into this week. I got onto a Harvard Business Review, which is a nonprofit wing of Harvard that digs deeper into business and customer service research and kind of principles and ideas. And I found this study. This survey looked at 75,000 people across a number of industries, 75,000 customers, and they asked them a few basic questions about their customer service experience in general. If their expectations were met, if they felt the company went above and beyond the expectation, and if the result of the interaction would make them more or less loyal to the company. So some interesting stuff shook out. 84% of the 75,000 people said that their basic expectation was not met during their first customer service interaction with a company, which should really blow your mind that the majority of people do not have the original problem solved when they come to a business. Some data shook out that showed that satisfaction is not indicative of loyalty at all. 20% of people who reported that they were satisfied with the interaction said they would still take their business elsewhere. So probably because the original problem wasn't solved. the customer service rep in person or on the phone was probably nice and maybe gave them a discount or a coupon or something, and the person said that was satisfactory, but the original problem still wasn't solved, and so they're going to take their business elsewhere even though they were satisfied. 80% of people now go into a customer service interaction expecting to not have their original problem be solved. And again, that should be another kind of mind-blowing statistic as we talk about patient expectation, negative or positive. Here we are, 80% of people go into an interaction expecting the person to not be able to help them. So again, now we have people coming into an interaction with us and they're expecting to not be able to receive help, 80% of people. And then 22% of all customer service calls are follow-up calls because the original problem was not solved the first time. So there's a high volume of secondary, tertiary calls and interactions in customer service due to the original problem not being solved. And so how I think of this in relation to both running a physical therapy business and a physical therapy clinician, from the business side, this tells me that the person on the phone at your clinic has to be, not only maybe they don't even really have to be nice. This data shows that even if they are nice, if they don't solve the original problem, the customer is going to go somewhere else. So it's not even that they have to be super nice and positive, it's that they have to solve the original problem. So if a patient calls and they're trying to get scheduled and the person at the front desk says, oh, there's no way we can fit you in, and maybe that's 100% true, maybe you are killing it and you have a long wait list, but that patient wants the problem solved, which is they need a physical therapy appointment. And so I think that comes down to us as clinicians too, to be aware of our schedule and how much flexibility we have so that we can fit those patients in, because this data shows that if they don't get fit in, they're just going to go somewhere else, even if the front desk person is very nice. And in the clinic, this kind of shows us what we already know, that we have to solve the original problem. If Betty is coming in with back pain, it doesn't matter how nice we are or how many modalities we throw at Betty or any of the other kind of fluff and buff stuff we offer in our clinic. If we don't help Betty with her back pain, we're not solving her original problem. People want the original problem solved. It doesn't matter how nice you are or how many discounts or coupons you offer. They want that original problem solved, and once you solve that original problem, that's where the customer satisfaction turns into customer loyalty. So that's super quick today. Just touching on, again, those foundational extreme ownership principles that you need to be aware of, or your front desk person needs to be aware of, assuming ownership of the situation, and doing what they can do in the moment to solve the original problem and accomplish the mission. That customer service data shows us that the majority of people go into an interaction with a negative expectation that the customer service will be helpful, that customer satisfaction doesn't equal customer loyalty, and that the majority of follow-up customer service interactions are because the original problem never got solved. And I'll just touch a little bit on this last data point, is that a lot of research has shown that elimination and productivity metrics has increased customer satisfaction and loyalty and decreased customer call volume by 58%. And so I see that as in translation into PT practice as that if you're able to spend a little bit more time with the patients that you need to spend more time with, and maybe that means less time with the people that don't need as much of your time, it's probably going to result in overall a better experience. So that's it. I just want to take a quick moment and say this is the last time you guys will see me for 2017. So I want to say thanks for a wonderful year. Wonderful year. It's been an awesome year of growth for ICE. I've enjoyed interacting with all of you virtually, through email, through here on PT on ICE, and the rare chances like Maryland where I get to go out and actually talk to my email friends in person. So have a wonderful Christmas. Jeff will be on next Thursday, and then have a happy New Year. Be safe. See you guys in 2018. Have a great day.